All right, I got myself out of a victim mentality this morning, and I just wanted to share a little bit about it before I head into class, because it's not as simple as like just trying to like will myself out of it, snap myself out of it. That doesn't work for me. I don't know if it works for you, but I've had people ask me like, either ask me how do you do it, or they say, well, you must not have really experienced waking up and just like being so low, because it's, you must not have experienced it because look at you now, you're fine. um, and so I guess I just wanted to share how I did it this morning. So yesterday was a really, really intense, extreme day. I don't know if you've ever had those days where it's like you just don't even have a minute to yourself all day. And it doesn't even count after the kids are in bed because the kids kept waking up. Like every spare minute I was trying to study, trying keyword wasn't really working because my brain was shot. And so it's like study, wake up. Anyway, it was a lot yesterday. And so it was like, it's one of those days where it's just, you're completely exhausted and you're like, I can't wait to sleep. I just have to sleep. I have to sleep and I'll feel better. But it was a night where sleep was not in the cards. By 5 a.m., I still had only had like maybe 45 minutes of sleep broken up into small naps. Just my baby's teething. And that's how it goes sometimes. And so I got extremely little sleep last night after a really rough day. And I woke up. It was time to get up to get ready for the day. And it was just one of those mornings where I woke up and I went, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get myself out of bed? I don't know. Am I safe to drive is one of the first things on my mind, because that's a very important consideration. But also just like, where do I come up with the strength to do this? Last night was so rough. And I just kept being like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. That was the thought going through my head. How am I going to make this happen? I don't know if I have it in me. And like my brain was listing off the things, almost no sleep, I've barely even studied. How am I going to do my classes? Like I'm just, and I had a choice. I could have slept for possibly, if she stayed down, possibly half an hour more, or I could have gotten up and started my day. The problem is if I slept half an hour more, I wouldn't have time for breakfast. I wouldn't have time to make sure I'd gathered everything I needed for the day. And I decided I'm going to get up and I'm going to see if I can turn this around. That was kind of the first decision, is I'm going to at least try to turn it around. Now, I mentioned that forcing it doesn't work. So yes, there was a little bit of forcing getting up, but it wasn't like making adrenaline happen, if that makes any sense. I didn't like get up and like, okay, I'm going. It was like, okay, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna walk into the kitchen, I'm gonna try to figure out a plan. So I get to the kitchen, I'm like, I need caffeine today. I don't usually do caffeine, like maybe once or twice a month. I need caffeine today. How can I make it a little bit better? How can I kind of soften the blow to my system of caffeine? And I went, okay, I'll drink a full glass of water first, and then I will drink caffeine. So that's what I did. And I was already starting to feel a little bit better by the time I finished that glass of water. There is something to that for sure. And I was like, okay, I have to eat breakfast. I'm not feeling hungry. I'm actually feeling really nauseous. What is the most substantial breakfast that I can tolerate? It wasn't what I'm hungry for. Definitely not hungry. But what breakfast can I get into my system that I know somewhere in my head is gonna be good? And I settled on eggs with toast. You add mayo and smoked paprika to it. It's actually really good. I prefer to add parsley, but we didn't have any. And I almost stopped myself there. I was like, we don't have any parsley, we don't have any arugula, it's not gonna taste good. And I was like, this is about trying to turn this day around. So it's calories, get it in your system, it'll be okay. And so the third, I guess, thing, are we on three things? I don't know, my brain's a little bit shot still, but I decided I wasn't going to scroll my phone while I ate breakfast. And that was kind of inspiration from a video I watched recently, about the power of making different choices in your day. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. So I ate my breakfast, without scrolling my phone, and drink another full glass of water with breakfast. And by the time I was done with breakfast, I was almost finished when she woke up and started crying. And I was like, I checked in with myself and I was like, I am actually feeling a lot better. Obviously, I'm still tired. Obviously, like that's not going to go away anytime soon. But instead of like, how am I gonna do this? It was like, wow, I did a thing. I ate a good breakfast. I got my vitamins into my system. You know, I took my daily vitamins and I got water in my system. And I'm like, I just sitting with my thoughts instead of scrolling my phone, I feel like helped prepare me for the day, because I was inviting my feelings to flow. I was like, this is hard, but I'm actually doing it. And I felt like my thoughts were kind of like organizing as I was eating breakfast, and that made a big difference for me. So she woke up and I was like, yay, you're up. I'm going to pull you into the bathroom and give you lots of toys and lots of cushioning to crawl around, and I'm going to take a shower, which I didn't even realize I had time for, but I did. And that was because I had energy, a little bit of the caffeine for sure, and it worked. And then, you know, so my husband was coming back from dropping our kid off at preschool, and I texted him. I said, I've reset for the day. Looking forward to seeing you. And that's our little code word for no matter how stressed I was, no matter how grumpy I was, frustrated, whatever was going on, I have wiped the slate clean successfully. I am in a good headspace and I am, you know, feeling good and ready to do things. So I really love that we have that little code word there. And so I just wanted to invite you today to reset with me, no matter what you're up against, because it can be good. It can be nice to start life like that, next day of your life. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm still very sleep deprived, but we are making this happen. Yay! Bye for now.